Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of the unit renovation. How are we getting on here? Well, it is stressful at the minute. It is really stressful at the minute. There's a lot going on, so we're going to take you through all those stresses, show you around downstairs how we've changed that, and give you a bit of an update on how we're getting on. So I mentioned about stress. Things have been really tough. Not as in work not coming in. It is busier than ever. It is managing staff, new starters that then we don't have them anymore, and then we have more new starters. Loads of things. So this is my favourite mug at the minute. Keep calm. I'm an electrician, but keep calm. I'm an office guy at the minute. Is my role. We had a couple of new starters come, and again, I'll always be honest with everyone, and I feel like this sort of video, this series is kind of an insight into us as a company internally, but also this renovation. So I'm going to tell you about it. And we had a couple of new starters start. It didn't work out on their part really. They both handed the notice in, which was a bit of a kick in the knackers, but it was one of those things. The reasons were valid. The job didn't suit them. The travelling was too far. Things like that. So yeah, it's one of those things. So we've hired for one of the roles, project estimator. So we've got Alex has started there. So fingers crossed all of that goes okay and he sticks it out. But yeah, he's based in Plymouth. So literally, if you were to put a pin on the map as the furthest location in the country, we could have hired someone. So he's working mainly remotely. So that's really cool. And working really well with, and coming up here every 2 weeks, and after Christmas about every 3 weeks. So yeah, that's pretty good. It's going really well and taking some of the stress off me, which is nice. And I think I mentioned it in the previous videos. Jess, my wife, who is the office manager, her last day was yesterday, as the day that we're filming this. And so I am now in full control of the office and the on-site stuff, which is burning and frying my brain. Yeah, it's a new challenge for me. My role is massively changing. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff like the whole accounting side and DNO side and all that I'm having to relearn again. I'm just desperate to get my tools back out and do some on-site work. But at the minute, as maybe you guys watching this as business owners know, sometimes you just can't do that bit. You have to focus on ground zero and get this bit sorted to then be able to allow yourself to get back out on site. So this is a bit of me venting about all of that and what have you, but yeah, it's really cool. There's lots going on, quite a few decent commercial jobs and loads of domestic jobs and confirmations. The weather is causing us a few issues with a few jobs as well, because obviously it's a horrendous time of the year. We're in November now, so yeah, that's causing us a few issues on some sites. But other than that, it's all guns blazing, if you like, all full steam ahead. I'm a little bit fried, if I'm honest. So if I'm garbling on, you'll know why. But yeah, I'm a little bit fried. And obviously with Jess going on maternity leave, we've got a baby due in the coming weeks or days, who knows. So that's all playing around in my mind. But this place, I don't think this place has changed that much. We've got carpets, we've got desks. Yeah, it's been in full swing. It's really cool to see people working in here now, because for a long time it's just been, bits and bobs and not many people in here. When we have everyone in, it's a really nice environment to work in. We've got all of our internet sorted, so I don't think we had the CCTV and internet, so our friends at Art Smart got us all set up with a fully 24-hour monitored CCTV and alarm system, so that is monitored 24/7. So if anyone comes at the middle of the night, that goes to a central location. They look at it. If it looks dodgy, they can call the police straight away. So that's really cool. We've got that all set up now, fully fledged internet, full rack and everything, security system, which is great, which means our insurance is all fully covered and we're up and running. But yeah, so in here's kind of as it is. My desk is obviously the most messy one. And then we've got a little meeting room sorted. Again, very basic at the minute. We've not really done an awful lot, just a desk and a few chairs and that in here, but I think that was all there last time anyway. So it's an office, you know what these are like. We'll have a little look downstairs now because we've made some fairly big changes, I think, from where we were before. So yeah, let's head downstairs. So the mezzanine hasn't really changed. That is as is. It's a bit of a dumping ground for all sorts of other things. We don't really have a use for that at the minute. It's just trying to get a lot of the stuff that we don't use that much out the way so that we're not trying to juggle everything else. So the first main thing that we've changed is we've built the Donald Trump wall. So this is our Mexican border. This is build the wall. We might end up writing something on there, but anyway, we'll see. Probably shouldn't advertise that. But that has provided us a really good base from a lot of the woodworking stuff there. That my dad's actually involved in a lot of that. So a lot of his tools and things are there for the bits of joinery and stuff that he does. But that means that we're actually going to shift these 3 bays that have been working really well. These 3 bays are going to move. There's going to be 1 bay in this little section here. And then we'll have this middle bay now and the last bay here. These have been working really well because it's allowed us to the guys just to reverse in and just loads up straight away. It's been really successful as that. The trickiest part of that is actually been the time to load these up ready for them, especially with everything going on with staff and things like that. So yeah, that's the biggest issue that we've had, but actually them working with the guys, being able to just load up straight away has been fantastic. Next thing is we've got this racking wall. Everything's wall based, isn't it? But we've got this racking wall for all of our long lengths of stuff. So because we've got a lot of height, but not a lot of floor space when you start to spread everything out, we wanted to have a rack that was everything stood up vertically, because then we can use some of this height. So we've got all these different pigeonholes, if you like, where we've got our Van der Valk rail, we've got some K2 rail, we've got some steel conduit, unistrut, and then what we're going to have here, we've got 100 by 100 galv trunking, 75 by 75. Some of these are empty because we've not got any stock of this at the minute, but 50 by 50, we'll have 100 mil PVC, 75 mil PVC, 50 by 50 PVC, YT4, YT3, YT2, YT1. Then we've got 25 mil black conduit, 20 mil black conduit, and then same again in white, and then some threaded bar. So we kind of had to try and work out what it is we want to keep, and then we built these pigeon slots here so that we can actually see what we've got. It isn't just in a massive pile somewhere, which has really helped because we can actually see what we need to order more of and actually just pull them off straight there and straight into the bays, which has been really good. We've then, well, what else have we done? We've got these big tubs. So in the last video I mentioned my excitement about these big tubs. So we've converted a lot of little boxes of hooks into some big boxes of hooks, and then put them on the pallets so that we can use a pallet truck to wheel them back, because there is some weight in these now. We've done the same with our mid clamps and end clamps, optimizer clamps, and just got a bit of organisation. It's unbelievable the amount of space all them little boxes take up. The floor space is incredible, and you end up just ordering more stuff because you think, oh God, I don't know if I've got that in there or not. So yeah, we've done a lot of organising there. We've also done some organising with the batteries and everything else like that, but we're not going to go too far into those. Now, this video is very much spur of the moment, and I should have had a bit of a tidy up really beforehand. But we've got these racks over here. So this is all in a massive mess because I've just been running around frantically trying to get some stuff sorted. So this was a lot tidier, but anyway. What we've got here, we've got all of our boxes, and I had a really good couple of weekends labelling a lot of these up and filling these up with the kit. So we've got our table here, which is just full of random stuff that I need to sort out, but it's actually giving us the ability to just go straight to a box, like things like these, like the stuffing glands. We've got all these all labelled up now, so we can just go straight in there and just pick out what we need, which is even just something small like that, it's so much easier than going through random boxes of stuff and trying to, oh, there's a few stuffing glands there, you know, pulling them out. So yeah, so that they've got AC isolators, DC isolators, Wago connectors, document holders, all the conduit saddles and end boxes and couplers, and the amount of stuff that you have that you don't realise you have is incredible. And I've still got bloody loads to go through. So yeah, by no means the end of the road for this yet. And the next task is how to store the rolls of armoured cable, PV Ultra, EV Ultra, high tough and all of that, which we're going to construct something there, so that'll probably be in another video. On the last video we spoke about the lighting as well. So our friends at Liseco Group have sent us over the lighting design, and it's all on me at the minute. I've just not had time to go through all of that, so that'll be in a future video as well. But we set up this PEL 103, which is a data logger, because we've never had a unit like this before, so we have no idea how much energy we should be using or to budget to use. So we set this PEL 103 up, which I've actually turned off now because we had it running for a couple of weeks. And that has basically been tracking on each phase how much power we've been using, which has been really, really good because it's actually given me an insight now as to which phases are heavily loaded, which ones aren't, because obviously we're using this mainly as a warehouse and an office, but before this was a manufacturing site for race car engines. So their usage was totally different to us, whereas for us, it's mainly lighting and sockets and the kettle a lot. The kettle goes on a lot. But this has allowed us a bit more of an insight as to how much energy we use and allowed us to actually budget, but also potentially for solar in the future, which I'd love to get on here. But anyway, that's been really good. And Shav and Anu, who are the manufacturers of this, have lent us this to use, because we're going to be using this in some upcoming videos to assess on like a farm or a commercial building, set this up for a few weeks, and then that'll allow us to actually look at what size solar and battery system might work best for that building. Because obviously for a factory that might have enough space for a megawatt, they might need a megawatt of solar but a small battery, because their overnight usage isn't very much. But we don't know that unless they've got some on-site monitoring through, meters that they've had installed, or something like this that we can come and fit. So yeah, that's been really cool to get to grips with that. But like with anything, we've tried it out ourselves first because we want to go to site confidently. What else have we done? We've got our cable in ready for our Sync EV, the BG charger. So the Seco Group have sent us one of those as well to have a go with. In the last video, went through the actual physical device in the box. One thing that we forgot to mention on that video when I reviewed it is that it's got the pen fault protection built in. So we don't need to fit any sort of matte box or anything like that. So that is going to be a separate video. We're going to do that. We're going to show you the fitting of that, the commissioning of that, and get that up and running. Because we've got a Nissan Leaf, which we can then use this charger to charge that up with. And yeah, that's kind of it for in here really. We've had our, how could I forget? We've had our panel buddy made. So we made this for moving panels around. So the idea of the panel buddy, trademark, copyright, patented, it's not, but yeah, might be one day, you never know, is basically a device that we can have a load of panels on that we can then drag along, so we don't have to try and split one of these pallets in the middle of the warehouse. As soon as you split one, the issue then is that you remove all the strength and they can fall backwards. So that means the panels historically have had to be leant against the wall for us to take any out of them. And the idea is that we're going to have one of these per bay, so that each bay can have the panels ready for the job. The guys can then just pull the panel buddy along to the van and unload the panels into the van. And equally, we've built this so that a pallet can actually be dropped on this. So once this is empty, when we've used all these Perlite 430s, we can just lift that pallet onto this panel buddy, strip it on this, and then allow these panels to just drop onto this backboard here, because this backboard is slightly tilted back. So that's the idea anyway. We'll maybe cover that a little bit more in detail when we have it in full swing. But yeah, that's that. We've still got plenty of boxes left for doing our organising, and then we've got some kit to go back just over here. So yeah, it's all go in this warehouse, and it's really nice to see it being used to its full potential, because like you saw in the first episode of this, we were in the garden with tarpaulins over kit, wind blowing the tarpaulins off, me and Jess having to get up in the middle of the night because we hear the tarpaulin rattling and having water getting in. It's just an absolute nightmare. So it's really, really cool to see this being used to its full potential, or will be used to its full potential soon. We've not changed an awful lot through here. We've kind of left this a little bit. So we've got our soundboarding here. that's ready to go on. I'm going to go along here and just help soundproof this because it's quite an echoey room is this. But we've kind of just abandoned this room for now because we've had so much going on with everywhere else. But yeah, it'd be nice to get this, start working on this place at some point soon. And then kitchen wise hasn't changed at all. Again, that's just been kettle, microwave and plenty of biscuits. That's about it for the kitchen. And then signage. There's no signage gone up as yet either. We'll head up to the office because I just want to talk about what another major thing that we've gone through as a company, and yeah, it might actually help some of you guys out as well. So I'm going to sit down for this because this has been painful. This has been really painful, and I get asked a lot, and it's very humbling, about advice of business and whatever. And the first thing I tell people is I have not got the answers. I am no expert in it. I'm learning as much as anybody. And one of the really painful lessons that we've gone through over the past few months has been accountant issues. And I'm talking accountants not actually doing their job right, telling us payments to make, and then us getting bailiff letters for not paying the right amount of CIS. And just really, I've been very open about this, but really stressful things that we don't need when you're trying to build a business. So we've been going through, and have now terminated the contract with that said accountant who has been with us for a few years. And it's only now that we're finding out all of the things that they'd been letting us down on, because ultimately we're electricians, we're renewable energy installers, we're not accountants. And the thing that's annoying about accountants is that there's no real comeback on them because it's us signing off the accounts. So that annoyed me, to be honest. And it's been a really stressful time trying to get that transition, because obviously one doesn't want to speak to the other one's trying their best, who's going to take over. And that's been really tricky. But we're through that now. We're just getting the final parts of our system sorted so that we can be a lot more automated and a lot better. But yeah, if there's anyone watching this that's starting up in business or has been in business but isn't sure about the whole accountancy side, pay the money for decent accountants, because that has been the difference between the old ones and the new ones. We're only a month in, is night and day different. And I know some of that might be a honeymoon effect on the first few weeks, but it has been night and day different compared to what it was like. We used to wait weeks for an answer on something, whereas now we're waiting hours. So yeah, it's really cool, and it's nice that we're on this side of it, because we've been sat on the other side of the fence for a long time trying to get to this side. So we're on the positive end of it now, which is really cool, and we're on a full managed account system. So we get updates every month as to profit, where we're spending the most, where we could maybe help us save money on things, and just have someone that is on your side. That's the first thing I said to them. I said, this relationship won't go any further unless I can be absolutely sure that you're on our side. And that is, when tax rules change, you let us know. You also advise on how it could help us. You keep up to date with us with the bookkeeping. Basically, you're there backing us up. And that's what I said. Now, that ultimately is what everyone wants. So yeah, that's going really well at the minute. But ultimately, this was a bit of an update as to what we've done down there, a bit of the stresses that we're under at the minute as a company and as an individual, really. But work is fantastic. The guys are doing such a good job out on site. They're smashing in the installs, but keeping the quality high, which is always tricky when you're not on site yourself as much. I'm still getting out on site, but not as much at the minute. Ready to build that back up as soon as I can. And also baby on the way. So that's really exciting as well. But trying to get all those cogs to come together to keep Oval growing and Oval pushing forward is stressful, but is really rewarding when it all does come together. So I'll take this opportunity to say thank you very much to the guys on site, and that goes to Bill, Dean, and also to a lot of the contractors like Michael at East Renewables, Dean at Jador. There's just loads. There's loads of people that support us. Mo and Ahmed, loads of people that support us on site, but also Nick and Alex and Jess, of course, the wife. I can't not mention the wife, for all the support they're giving us, and everyone watching these videos as well, and giving us advice and buying our services and everything like that. So I really, really do appreciate it. And we are working really hard to keep over growing and improving and keeping the standards high. So I hope this video has made sense, because I feel like I've rambled for a lot of it. It's been a bit of a brain dump, and I can't wait to see what the guys do with the edit on this, because they're going to have a bit of a mission. But thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and leave any comments, any advice you have, anything you'd like to see more of. And we'll see you on the next update, which hopefully I've got all my hair still, or I hope it's not all grey or what have you. And yeah, we'll update you on probably some lighting changes and the EV charger changing probably. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.